I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called Assault on Wall Street, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's an Uwe Boll film that doesn't completely suck. Now they're going to say here's a 5 out of 5 star film. It has its issues, but it's at least a 3 out of 5 star film. And with Uwe Boll, that's pretty damn, I guess, pigs can fly and Uwe Boll can make a halfway decent flick. It seemed like when he got away from video game movies, he got a little bit better. Rampage, for what it is, you may not like the concept, but it's not that badly done of a movie. I didn't even not like the concept. This concept, at the very least, like that one, it's a villain. Rampage is, the star is a villain. Here, it's a guy who is more likable because it does make you feel for his character, because it deals with the 2007-2008 financial crisis, where a lot of investors lost all their money, their life savings, because the higher-ups of Wall Street fucked around with the money. They screwed up, and people lost a lot of their livelihood. In this case, you have a guy who's a security guard who loses his pension because of this BS. His wife, who's sick, needs treatment. They can't pay for it. And it does lay on thick of pile on of shit that goes wrong for the lead guy, where the bank, not only does he lose his pension, but then he owes like $60,000 and there's no way to pay it, and then what's he going to do with this, what's he going to do with that. Until ultimately some things happen and he decides to take revenge on Wall Street, which gets to the finale of the film. Now, the film may be broad, absurd. Some people may find it ridiculous. That's the things that happen. That it's a black and white movie, meaning, not literally, but there's not a lot of gray area. It's, this guy's a good guy, and people on Wall Street are the bad guys. If people want a bit more depth to it, they may not get it out of this. The acting, the cast, the lead they picked was Dominic Purcell. Now, I can't say I love Dominic Purcell. There's other actors I would have picked. I mean, yeah, Eric Roberts in the film. I would have rather have him as the lead. Yeah, Michael Pare in the film. I'd rather have him as the lead. Hell, yeah, Keith David in the film. I'd rather have him as the lead. Like, there's other people we would have had as the lead than Dominic Purcell. And, you know, there's others. There's Thomas Jane. There's Carl Urban, there's a variety of others. To be fair, Dominic Purcell, I think, gave his all. I don't think Dominic Purcell, I don't think he was bad. I think another actor would have elevated this even more. And he's not the actor I would have chosen. But, there's certain moments he's doing the best that he can, and he does the stone-faced acting well, but there's moments that he showcases emotion that he's not... It's not like he's being lazy. It's not like he's sleepwalking. He's trying in these scenes, and I thought he was not too shabby. Of the stuff I've seen him in, it's definitely one of his better performances, compared to, like, Blade Trinity, where he was fucking Dracula. Well, he wasn't fucking Dracula. He was Dracula. He might as well be fucking Dracula. In the ass. But, again, it's not who I would have chosen, but Dominic Purcell wasn't too bad. He was pretty decent. He's a security guard. His buddy is Edward Furlong. The great Edward Furlong at times seemed like he was stoned. But it was nice to see Edward Furlong again. I mean, that's a guy that sadly went off the path, so to speak. And, there's moments that he's decent, and there's moments that he seems a bit stoned out of his mind. Like, there's a point where he's trying to tell a joke while all the guys are having food at a diner. And then he fucks up the joke. And I'm like, was this a real flub? And they kept it in because you have the other actors laughing at him. Either that was good acting or that was a real flub they kept in. But then, with the way Edward Furlong is, it actually made sense. And with how genuine the actors are, and it kind of helped with their goofing off, like, camaraderie that these four care for each other. But yeah, Edward Furlong plays his buddy. Two cops who are friends with them is Keith David from John Carpenter's The Thing, They Live, and Michael Pare, who's worked with Uwe Boll quite a few times. And again, I'm like, well, why isn't Michael Pare? Why isn't Eric Roberts, who plays a lawyer later on? He's in the film for a few minutes. Or, like, yeah, there's other actors that were chosen as the lead. Oh, other recognizable people, Lachlan Monroe. He plays Dominic Purcell's financial advisor who kind of fucked him over. Lachlan Monroe, he was the cop who got killed by Jason, Freddy vs. Jason, got electrocuted by Jason. He was in the first Theory movie. He's been in a few other films. John Hurd, may he rest in peace. I didn't realize John Hurd was in this. He plays, I guess you would call our main villain. Sort of the head financial banker, investment guy. He pretty much our main villain. It was nice. I mean, I miss John Hurd. I loved him in Chud and Home Alone, and he's been in quite a few films. He was always a good actor. I thought he did a decent job here. I think it was nice to see him in there. So I thought Uwe Boll got a pretty decent cast. Clint Howard is in the film as a guy selling guns to Dominic Purcell, so it's kind of an interesting role for Clint Howard. And he's not in the film too long, but it was nice to see him in there. Now, it does take quite a while before you get to the actual assault on Wall Street. I do think the pacing could have been cut about 10-15 minutes. And if you want to have that length of time, put that 10-15 minutes to more of the assault on Wall Street. Because there are times that it takes a bit too long, and seeing the guy mope around. A bit too many scenes of him moping, sitting there moping, going over your mope. It's like, we get the hint. As sometimes the editing could be a bit better in those scenes. Because there'll be, the way time goes, he's in daytime looking over the water. Then it's nighttime, him training with guns. Then he's in a hotel room. Then it's daytime again. But then it's nighttime again. Then he's in his hotel room. It's like, okay, you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. What? has been 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months with the way it is edited. And again, there's about 10-15 minutes you could ease off. But it does, I think, bring a catharsis for people. I said this about another film, but this weird wish fulfillment. In reality, we don't want this, but when you're watching a film, it's a catharsis and fantasy to scratch that dark itch within ourselves of all these fucking bankers and these fucking assholes and these fucking Wall Street guys that don't care about the little man, don't care about the regular schmo, and you want to get revenge on them. And yes, in reality, we don't do it because it's wrong, but then you watch it in a movie, that's kind of what, I guess, Uwe Boll, maybe that's what he was trying to do in the Rampage films. At least the first one. Well, maybe not in the first, maybe not in the Rampage films. That's more into this one. I guess, again, if people want a little bit more gray area, here's like the hero's the hero and the villain's the villain. And I guess I didn't mind it in this instance, but it might be, you might mind it. But I mean, I thought Uwe Boll actually did a decent enough job making me feel sorry. It's like he's trying to do a bit of Falling Down, but Falling Down was a much better movie. But this guy who's just been pushed and pushed until he doesn't want to be pushed anymore. I would say it was interesting to see these actors work together. I mean, I never thought I'd see a scene with like Erin Furlong, Keith David, and Michael Purcell in the same scene. Michael Purcell, he was in Eddie and the Cruisers. He was in this pretty decent film called Into the Sun. Not the Steven Seagal one. This is one with him and Anthony Michael Hall. That's a pretty decent flick. Michael Purcell, good actor. Michael Purcell definitely had that sort of New York accent, like the fucking, told about his fucking wife with the fucking, that was fun to see. Anytime him and Keith David were on screen as the cops, that was nice to see. And part of me wishes it was more like Michael Purcell's movie. I think that would have, and I guess my neighbor's rooster agrees, that would have upped this at least to like maybe another star or half star. Like instead of 3, maybe 3.5 or so. Because I just think Michael Purcell is the better actor. I do wish he was more the star than Dominic Purcell. Because Dominic Purcell, I think he's doing the best that he can. I don't think he's like half-assing it or sleepwalking through it. It's just, he doesn't have the big range of emotions. I just don't think he's the strongest actor at expressing. I think he's doing the best he can. That's why I'm not kind of piling on him negatively. I don't think he was doing a bad job. It's just, it could be better, if that makes sense. But you just pile on with his wife being sick and spoilers. Getting the spoilers right now. Spoilers. He goes to his lawyer, Eric Roberts, pays him money. Things get fucked up there. Bills start piling up. Bankruptcy, financial troubles. He loses his job. And then his wife, I thought the actress who played his wife did a decent job. She's not being bitchy. She's not being mean. She's not, because there's a way you could have fucked that up with, why are you doing this? And why did you lose your job? I've seen worse movies that have made that mistake. And then you, the viewer, going, because bitch, it's your fault. You're the one got fucking sick. You're the one he's doing this all for. They don't do that. They actually do the opposite, which makes you feel more sorrow for the lead guy. She feels bad for him. Even though she's the one sick and dying, she feels bad for him. And then she kills herself. Because she feels that she's being a burden on her husband. And that really pushes him. I thought that moment Dominic Purcell did a pretty decent job acting. Showing his emotions. And Dominic Purcell tried. And I appreciate it. Because believe me, there's people that don't try anymore. Look at Bruce Willis nowadays. Look at Steven Seagal nowadays. So, Dominic Purcell at least tried. I'm going to give him credit for it. What do you think, that's right or wrong? Again, look at Bruce Willis and fucking Steven Seagal nowadays. And then that's when he decides to buy guns from Clint Howard, and he goes on, again, this is spoilers, goes on a killing spree. Now, again, I wish the killing spree was longer, and the fact that, like, he picks out his targets. I think there should have been a longer montage of that. Like, less of a montage of him moping and looking across the way, getting phone calls from everyone. Hey, how's it going, buddy? So, everyone was here. There's a good buddy. Wanted to make sure his buddy, his friend's doing okay. And listen, despite what I was saying about Erin Furlong, it's still nice to see him, and even if he is a bit stoned. I do miss the guy. I remember him from Terminator 2 and Pet Sematary 2. Yeah, I miss the guy. Sadly, drugs didn't do him any favors. Although once in a while, you still have that Uwe Boll fuck up. Like, there's a point where the guy, Dominic Purcell, is putting magazine, newspapers on the wall. There's a fucking, I don't know how they did this. Maneuver is spelled wrong. It's spelled M-A-N-E, M-A-N-E-U-O-V-E-R. I'm like, that's how you spell maneuver? M-A-N-E-U-O-V-E-R. I'm like, what the fuck does that spell? That's not how you spell maneuver. Is that, Uwe Boll, Dr. saying, that's how, my name is Uwe Boll, I'm going to box you, and to fuck you up. I don't know why I make him think he's Iron Sheik. Don't put you on the camera clutch and fuck your ass. Make you humble. Although, if Iron Sheik was a director, it would be Uwe Boll. I'm going to punch you in the face and bend you over and fuck your ass and make you humble. By the way, for those who don't know, I'm in an Uwe Boll documentary. Granted, unbeknownst to my knowledge, they did an Uwe Boll documentary, and they show this random group of YouTube videos, and they show like an old, this is like old, like 2008, 2009, it might have been my review of Postal, or I don't know, one of those old reviews with like the really horrible camera. I mean, so if you ever see the Uwe Boll documentary, you'll see a cameo by me. Right, I guess they could do that without me knowing. But yeah, for briefest, I guess they just looked up Uwe Boll rant videos on YouTube at that time, and they just found my old ass video. It's like for like 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, huh, interesting. So fuck you, Uwe. Lo and behold, I gave you your ass some credit, because I think this is a halfway decent film. Like I said, still think there's some sporadic editing. There's some 10, 15 minutes that could be cut out. I do think less moping, longer killing spree. When the finale happens, there's some... I appreciate the fact Uwe went practical. Someone gets shot in the head. Looks pretty cool. Dominic Purcell goes in, has grenades. Now again, whether people wanted more of a gray area, if you don't, and you want to have that catharsis fantasy of fuck these assholes and these bankers and these investments, they fuck over you, they fuck over me, all they care about the bottom line dollar, and you want to see someone go ape shit, this is your movie. And I don't know, maybe because of the way things are nowadays, maybe more movies like this should be made to scratch that dark itch in the people's psyche. And you watch it, and you kind of... because people don't want to accept that within themselves, But when you don't accept that within yourselves, then it just manifests more and more. And then if you're not going to accept it and learn to be friends with the darker, because we all have a darker self. We all do. I don't care, me, you, everybody. Now, you can either make friends with it, or you could deny it, and it just bubbles like an infection. And then for some people, that comes out in big bad ways. So either accept friends with it, and you deal with it, and that's what morality is, and that's what trying to be a decent person is, or it'll explode. X, Y, or Z reasons. And so you watch films like this, you escape it, then okay, boom, it's done. You move on with your day. And it's not that, badly done, at least for what it needs to be. So yeah, it might be absurd. I did spoilers, extra spoilers. There's decent dialogue with John Hurd. I thought John Hurd actually gave a pretty good performance. So again, nice to see him again. Dominic Purcell fucks him over. Makes him pick up the gun. The SWAT team comes in and shoots John Hurd. They think the Dominic is an innocent guy. Michael Purcell and Keith David are there. They're friends. They know what he's up to, and they let him go. And you may feel that's ridiculous, but it's because they're friends with him, and you either go with it or you don't. As absurd as it is, because they are cops, but they're also friends with him. I just went along with it. It might not be. It may be too much for people. I went along with it. Just like with the movie, I enjoyed a good chunk of the build-up. The cast was interesting for the most part. The action scenes at the end were decent. You get some nice blood squibs. I'll give it with Uwe Boll. He will usually go with the blood squibs. Not too much the CGI. It wasn't a CGI fest. I gotta give credit to that. Like I said, if you just cut 10-15 minutes, ease up on some of the sporadic editing. If you want to have those 10-15 minutes, have either a longer killing spree or a longer assault on Wall Street, which is the title. I think Dominic Purcell's okay. I would have Michael Purcell or Eric Roberts I would have put instead. I think that would have made the film better, in my eyes. I have a feeling people are going to agree with that. But yeah, it was decent for what it is. It was a decent movie where you could feel yourself pity with the main character, and in a sentimental way, you kind of want him to win and get revenge. Maybe whatever's going on in your life, you kind of live yourself through the guy's eyes. And they did a decent enough job making us feel sorry for the lead guy, which is not always the case in movies, especially nowadays. So overall, yeah, Salt on Wall Street, it's a decent Uwe Boll film. Who would have fucking thunk it? And it seems like it sets up for a sequel, which never happened. So, there you go. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.